Different date, same fate. I'ma knock out Jake Paul.
Mike Tyson just shook the boxing world after new fight rules for November 15th were revealed and Jake Paul wasn't ready for what came next. It all started on July 5, 2024, when Jake Paul stunned fans by announcing he was canceling his highly anticipated fight with Mike Tyson. In a video posted to his YouTube channel, Jake claimed he was concerned about Tyson's health. He pointed out that at nearly 60 years old, the boxing legend might not be in peak condition to step into the ring. Jake insisted it was all about respect. He said Tyson's health came first. He framed the decision as a responsible move protecting a legend of the sport, but insiders weren't buying it. Then came the twist. After new fight rules were released for the November 15th showdown, everything changed. The updated terms reportedly came with strict conditions and major financial penalties. Word spread that backing out of the fight could come with massive consequences. Figures as high as $350 million were being thrown around. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. Jake, who initially seemed confident in walking away, was now facing intense pressure. Meanwhile, Jake Paul found himself in a position where stepping back into the ring might be the only way to silence critics and protect his reputation. As for Tyson, he stayed calm, focused, and ready. The former heavyweight champion made it clear he wasn't interested in excuses, only action. Now the question is, when November 15th arrives, will Jake be prepared for the consequences of the new rules, and the man waiting for him across the ring?
Obviously, devastating news. I'm heartbroken, speechless, gutted. We've been working so hard over here, everyone in this camp, and I just feel bad for everyone involved in this event.
The announcement hit like a bombshell. After months of non-stop hype surrounding the showdown with Mike Tyson, fans were counting down the days. Tyson had been training like a machine, posting intense workout clips on social media and proving he still had that explosive power that made him a legend. Then out of nowhere, Jake Paul pulled the plug. The sudden cancellation left fans stunned and confused. Social media erupted with speculation. Was it really about Tyson's health? Or was something else going on behind the scenes? Jake attempted to calm the storm, telling supporters to forget about the fight and focus on the future. But that message didn't land well. Fans were frustrated. Promoters were upset. Sponsors weren't thrilled either, and then came another twist. Instead of Tyson, Jake announced a new opponent, Mike Perry. The new fight was scheduled for July 20, 2024. Jake's explanation? Short and simple: Mike Perry is a great fighter and a true competitor. That was it. No deep reasoning. No detailed clarification. Just a quick pivot to a new matchup, leaving the boxing world with even more questions than answers.
Yeah, the news is true, folks. Jake Paul, will be fighting.
The news left fans both curious and skeptical. People immediately began debating what this switch really meant. Mike Perry, who transitioned from MMA into boxing, brought an entirely different energy. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't theatrical. He was raw, aggressive, and built for chaos. His no-nonsense brawler mentality stood in sharp contrast to Jake Paul's showman persona. Promotion for Paul versus Perry kicked into high gear. Perry, never one to hold back, promised an all-out war in the ring. The tension grew fast, but no matter how loud the build-up became, the shadow of the cancelled fight with Mike Tyson hung over everything. Fans couldn't stop wondering what could have been, and no one reacted more intensely than Iron Mike himself. Picture this: a legendary fighter dealing with serious health concerns, yet still determined to honor his commitment. Then suddenly, the fight is called off. For Tyson, this wasn't just business, it was pride, legacy, and millions of dollars on the line. Reports began circulating about a staggering $350 million legal battle tied to the cancellation. Why such a massive number? Because the financial ripple effect was enormous. Major brands had already invested heavily in promoting what was supposed to be one of the biggest boxing events of the year. Companies like Monster Energy and DraftKings had reportedly poured millions into advertising campaigns. Sponsorships were locked in. Promotional tours were planned. Television spots, digital ads, billboards, all built around one mega event. When the fight fell apart, so did months of marketing strategy. For promoters and partners, it wasn't just a cancelled match. It was a financial earthquake. Now the real question became, was this just a strategic pivot, or a move that could cost everyone involved far more than anyone expected?
Fight.
Yeah, the biggest ever.
It's on pace to be the biggest fight ever.
Yes, and we're involved.
We're involved, right?
We're involved. All those big shots, all the biggest athletes in the world, this is the biggest ever.
November 28th. Let's
Lit. Hey, we lit here. We lit at the Tyson Ranch.
And let's not forget the venue bookings. These mega events aren't thrown together overnight. Aren't broadcasters, promoters, and investors lock things in months ahead of time? From exclusive TV rights deals to small-time investors hoping for a slice of the pay-per-view pie, everyone had skin in the game. When the fight was called off, the ripple effect was massive. Now Jake Paul was facing serious backlash. The reported $350 million penalty sparked heated debate. Critics questioned whether that number was even enforceable. Supporters claimed it was all a misunderstanding, a miscommunication blown out of proportion. According to Jake's camp, his words were taken out of context. They insisted he was always committed to making the fight happen. They reassured fans that November would still see two titans collide, but Mike Tyson wasn't buying it. Iron Mike felt disrespected and he wasn't about to let it slide. That he issued an ultimatum that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. If the fight was going forward, it would be on his terms, and those terms? Brutal. On July 10, 2024, Tyson's proposed fight conditions were revealed and they were designed to push Jake to the absolute edge. First, extended duration, not 8 rounds. Not 10. 15 rounds, old school championship style. That changes everything. 15 rounds demand elite stamina, smart pacing, and mental discipline. There's nowhere to hide. More time means more punishment, more fatigue, and more chances to break. Second, shortened rest periods. Instead of the standard 1-minute break between rounds, recovery time would be slashed to just 30 seconds. That's barely enough time to breathe, let alone recover. Under those conditions, exhaustion becomes a weapon. Third, smaller gloves. 8-ounce gloves instead of the more common 10-ounce gloves. Less padding. More impact. Every punch lands harder. Defense becomes even more critical. Then came the most controversial demand: knockout only. No judges. No scorecards. No technical decisions. The fight would end only when one man couldn't continue. That rule shifts the entire strategy. Every punch carries intention. There's no coasting to a decision win. Tyson also introduced what he reportedly called an Iron Man round, a 3-minute stretch with no stoppages for any reason. No breaks. No interference. Just non-stop action. On top of that, mandatory random drug testing throughout training camp and strict penalties for excessive clinching. Tyson made it clear, he wanted constant engagement. No stalling. No shortcuts. These proposed conditions weren't just rules, they were psychological warfare. They favored experience. Endurance. Relentless pressure. Now the big question isn't about hype. It's about survival. Can Jake adapt to terms built for grind, grit, and old-school brutality? Or has he stepped into territory where legacy outweighs showmanship? If November happens, one thing is certain: this won't just be a fight. It'll be a test.